Yeah.
Well, happy Friday, everybody. This is an exciting one. We had a really fun ingredient of the month with Sip Herbals, which we'll get into. But first, I'm going to turn off my music so that I can have soundboard harassment from Allie, please.
Well, if you share your screen, it's not going to let me.
I won't share for a minute, so you can play
Okay,
all the funny sounds in the first 3 minutes of this call.
perfect. Here I go.
Um, okay, so Bill Staley, the food guy. A warm welcome.
Is it a happy hour if we
I
haven't played that
know.
at least once?
I'm glad that we have that sound effect. A warm welcome to our new creators and brands on the platform. This list is all brands here, which is awesome. Jarvis Jams joined. This is just in the last 2 weeks also. Jarvis Jams joined. The Spice Lab, I believe they joined just earlier today. Lavender Life, Nucolato, Good D's, Harney and Sons, and Jot. I'm very excited about Jot. They have this like coffee concentrate, and I have some coming, the vanilla flavor, and I can't wait. I'm going to use my Transcendence vanilla bean syrup with the Jot vanilla coffee concentrate and make the most epic iced coffee ever. So, a warm, warm welcome to the new brands and creators. Any creators we want to shout out that joined in the last few weeks? Any creator news that we want to shout out? I think Amanda Scarlatti was on TV. That was pretty recent, right? That happened in November.
Yeah, she had two TV spots on two different channels here locally.
Super shout
Very
out to
cool.
Amanda.
Yeah.
And those replays are in bites. So if you got bites 13 in your inbox, there's replays of those. We did have a lot of brand and creator news in there too. So maybe you don't want to repeat all of it. Other news, just on a product basis, we've got two tandem projects happening. One thing that's coming is, let's see, I'm going to swipe the screen sharing away. One that's coming that is super exciting is on recipe shopping is going to be elevated. And we're in our development environment here. But right now, the ingredient advertisements pop in and out on the right of the recipe on desktop and below or to the ingredients and below the ingredients on mobile. This is now going to a carousel where people who are viewing your recipes can now shop the ingredients through our collective right on the recipe, which is super cool. So these pop out and give you an opportunity to see some product details, check out any images that they have in their carousel. You can add this directly to your cart. This is all super seamless and right on the platform here. We have a couple minor bugs that we're still working out, like this scroll to the top of the page when we click the view product. So we're going to resolve that first. And when we have longer, more immersive shopping, this goes to something that you can swipe through. On mobile, you can swipe through it with your finger. We'll also have some arrows as a indicator on that as well, but it's very, very exciting. That should be coming quite soon. I know we've been teasing that for a little while here. I've probably even showed some early prototypes of that. I would imagine that we're very close to the finish line on that one, so we might be seeing that in the live environment as early as next week. So exciting stuff. It's a great way to elevate the brands on our platform even further and also provide something to the home cooks viewing your recipes, being able to see all of these amazing ingredients and shop them in one place. By having a carousel, it shows people that there's options, there's neat things to go and look at. So that we're very excited for that experience to launch, and it should be very soon. The other thing that we've been working on is our mobile app. We are, and right, Tony in the chat, it looks cool on mobile too. That does sort of tie in that we are launching a mobile app. We've been talking about this for a couple of months now. The progress. The progress has been significant. The registration flow on the app is super cool. So it guides new users through a registration where they can pick whether they're a home cook, which will be most people, or a creator or a brand. We gather that information of them creating a profile. And then super cool for us as creators and brands, they can pick some dietary preferences, which tie into our filters on the platform. And by making those selections, it will then suggest accounts to follow on the platform of creators and brands. So a really neat way for all of us to get more followers who are downloading the app. And then after they follow some accounts, they'll be taken to the main recipes page where those dietary preferences will be pre-selected, so they can immediately jump in and see recipes that they're looking for. So we're really excited about this. We're really proud of the work that our development team has been doing. We've been working really hard behind the scenes to move these along quickly, but also thoughtfully too. So that is the high level product update. Um, one more thing. This is still a great time to promote the holiday recipes ebook. The holiday ebook, this is a great gift to give out. You can send it as a gift to somebody. Oh, Priya, you raised your hand. Do you want to say something about that? Or you didn't mean to raise your hand? Maybe it's just a high five. That's totally fine if it's just a high five. It's still a
I
great time. Oh, go ahead.
I didn't mean to raise the hand, but I am giving that away as a holiday giveaway for my for like a raffle for my company. So
I love it.
Love that.
That's the perfect thing for it, right? Like it's
yeah.
101 recipes with a variety of holidays represented. All of the proceeds are going to World Central Kitchen. It's an amazing project that several of our community members worked on together. And it's a great time to be sharing that. So still want to give that some love here in these meetings. And then there's another big thing coming. We are doing a large Super Bowl promotion in January. So we are in the early stages of putting this together. It will be so Super Bowl recipes. We're currently talking to the brands on the platform to see who wants to participate. And then we're going to have signups for creators, and it'll be a team-based event where creators can highlight the products of the brands who are in the I'm like having such a brain fart on this, but we're going to have creators split into teams. Each team will have products that they're from the brands involved that they'll be able to utilize in their recipes. We'll have some live streamed events as part of this as well. And last year we had done a popular vote. We heard feedback from our community that like that wasn't really the best part of the Super Bowl contest last year. So this year we'll have some prizes and the community will vote on it. So Food Social creators and the sponsoring brands will be voting on it. It won't be a popularity contest. So not that there's anything wrong with that, but we heard feedback and we took it. Anyone on the team want to add anything about that since I'm stumbling over my words big time?
I just really want to thank our creators for giving us so much feedback last year. I keep saying last year, it was this year for the last Super Bowl contest, because it really is that feedback that helps us drive change with how we approach the way that we design these contests and these opportunities. And so we're really appreciative that so many of you were so open with us about how you felt about the contest and that you give us the opportunity to do better because we're not always going to get it right the first time, but we will continue to iterate and we'll listen to you and make things the best that we can. So thank you.
So we have some brands already committed to it. We will be sending out a creator sign up form in a week or so. We want to get more of the brand more brands signed up so that we have a more holistic view of who's participating from that side so we can do the best job of putting this together from the creator's perspective as possible. So more of the creator side will be forthcoming very soon. So stay tuned for that. That's all I've got. Anyone else have anything they want to share before we jump into our Sip Herbals recipes? No? All right. Sorry to swipe the sharing back.
That's fine. Enjoy.
So, one thing that's kind of neat for those who maybe haven't been on one of the most recent Ingredient of the Month calls is that we are debuting our collection infrastructure. This is not yet available, pardon me, to creators on the front end, but it will be shortly. So think of this as like your Pinterest or trip board. So not necessarily a meal plan, but a way to organize your favorite recipes or recipes around a theme that you'd like to be able to share with your audience or people visiting your profile. So we're able to do these for now, just on the back end. But we've made a collection around the Sip Herbals holiday inspired recipes. And so do we have anyone here who made one who'd like to go first?
I can go.
Okay. This one?
Mhm. So I made these cinnamon roll Oreo truffles, which are pretty self-explanatory. The ingredient list is really short and they're really simple to make, and they legitimately taste like cinnamon rolls. They're so delicious, and it was a great way to just, it was so easy to use their blend in it because I just like blitzed it in a little spice grinder, and was able to throw it right in with the mix. And I used golden Oreos for this because I didn't want them to taste chocolatey. I wanted the cinnamon flavor to really shine. And um, Priya, you've never had cinnamon rolls? Like you've never had a cinnamon roll before?
Whoa.
No.
That is one of my favorite things ever. They're like warm and comforting, and they have like this cinnamon buttery brown sugar flavor with like cream cheese icing on top, and like they're just like when you get one that's warm and fresh, it will change your life. So this has that some of that flavor, and I incorporated cream cheese to kind of give it that cream cheese icing-esque flavor. So yeah, they were really fun to make and absolutely delicious. And I loved their that their blend is like so much more versatile than you might initially think that you can use it in this. These are the ones, my recipe here is gluten-free, yes. So cinnamon rolls in general, I mean, yes, there are gluten-free ones available, but typically if you go to a place, they're probably not going to be like just a regular bakery. They probably won't be, but this recipe is gluten-free at least.
Talk to me about the drizzle. It's really like fine and beautiful. It's just white chocolate and what
Mhm.
else?
The drizzle is just white chocolate that I put into a Ziploc and snipped the end off and
Yeah.
did a little, I wanted a little contrast visually. So, because with the white chocolate that I dipped them in, I mixed it with cinnamon for more of that cinnamon flavor.
Yeah.
So I just wanted a little visual contrast with the drizzle.
It's really
And I
pretty.
have this, there's this creator on TikTok and she has like this cinnamon vanilla salt. She does these like occasional drops of it. And so I use the cinnamon vanilla salt on these and it's just chef's kiss.
Yeah, these look great. Have you used the Fojo like just on its own too, or
The cinnamon roll one is my favorite. It's so yummy. It's really cinnamony and I think it's delicious. So if you haven't tried the cinnamon roll one, I highly recommend.
yeah.
It is such a good coffee replacement. It has that like throat feel kind of coffee, like that earthiness. And so it's really nice to just like sip on.
Uh-oh, I spelled it wrong. There it is right there in our market.
Wow.
Priya, I have to drink decaf because I can't have caffeine either. I just love the taste of coffee. Yeah, the ingredients are great and it's just so delicious.
It's amazing what they do with chicory root and carob and dandelion. I guess dandelion root, there's I've seen other coffee alternative products that use some combination of these. It's really interesting how they achieve that.
Wow.
Especially the mouth feel like that. It's just really interesting to me that they're able to achieve like that coffee type mouth feel. Like it doesn't feel like you're drinking tea.
Yeah.
Who's next?
I can go next. I set my food down. I went to heat up some food. That's why I disappeared for a minute. But I did an old-fashioned fudge. And I did it so that you could replace
Oh my gosh, it's not on there. I'm so sorry. Hold on one.
that's okay. You could replace like a portion of the liquid with any coffee or tea. But I specifically made the recipe for the sip peppermint mocha. And I was just like really craving fudge for Christmas. And so I used to live really close to an Amish community, and they always had the best fudge. And every time I'd look up a fudge recipe, it was like really easy, like 2 ingredient fudge, and none of them were like quite the like consistency of like an old fashioned fudge. So I decided to kind of go from there. And Pooja, you're fine. So I just kind of went from there and added that like just it's just like an undertone of flavor. And it is so good. And I have kept myself from making more,
Why?
probably because I can't stop eating. I ate that. Bill and Haley came over and the day that I made that, and I was gone before the end of the week. So yeah,
Yeah, I
it's
was
really
I was gonna flex on everybody and said that I got to eat this one.
yeah,
I think I had that piece and maybe that piece. It
so
was
good.
so good. Yeah.
Looks
I love the
amazing.
creaminess of this. Like this, yeah, as somebody who went to the Jersey Shore as a kid, it just like reminds me of like the most decadent like fudge kitchen fudge. Like, I mean, my Jersey people would know, Allie, you would know, like you would like
That's so funny. I was
do a
thinking
lap
how it's
around the
paired.
block, get a free sample, go back, pretend like you hadn't been there before, get another one. Like this is exactly what that tasted like. It was so good.
Yeah. I needed that. Like you mentioned something when you ate a piece, like you were wondering what caramelized in it. And that's what I was looking for with like every time I'd make like a quick fudge, I like didn't get that. Like, I don't know. I just needed that. And now I almost regret that I did it because now I'm gonna make it all the time. But
Yeah.
it's
I mean, like a brown butter ghee would have been like a had like a similar result. I was actually really surprised that this didn't have spring sunrise brown butter ghee, which I just got.
that would be
Um,
so good if you did the
yeah.
cinnamon roll
Oh
sip
yeah,
in this with the brown butter ghee instead of the butter.
Oh,
so good.
Goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was so good. And I have had and continue to drink the sip herbals just on its own. And I was just like floored. The first sip I had of each of the different flavors, I was like, oh, it doesn't really taste like coffee. And then it kind of like hits and you're like, oh, it does taste like coffee.
Mm.
And it's so good. I just love that, like the throat feel. I think Pooja nailed it.
Mm.
It's really good stuff. It's like a cross of my two favorite things, coffee and tea.
Exactly.
Oops. Too far. Too far. There we go. All right. Anyone else have one? Is Jesse still here?
I can go, Bill, if
Sure. Yeah.
okay. Hmm.
It's
So I
fine.
did something really simple, which is the coffee overnight oats. And I know you guys said combination of two favorite things. For me, this is also a combination of two favorite things, coffee and chocolate. So so I added the sip herbals in there. Well, the base is like the base for every overnight oats. It's milk or your alternative plant-based milk, chia seeds. That's the base. And then I added the sip herbals, the brewed sip herbals. I also wanted to add some protein because I always want to add some protein to my breakfast. So I did the chocolate collagen from Further Foods, some vanilla extract in there. And you don't really have to add any sweetener because the sip herbals by itself has some sweetness. But if people want an added sweetness, I added a little maple syrup. And then just topped it in the morning with almonds, raspberries. You can top it with whatever you like, but it was really delicious. I love that cinnamon in there.
Mm.
I've never had, well, I usually put cinnamon in my tea. There's this traditional tea that we make that's very heavy on cinnamon, and I absolutely love it. But I'm not the one who sprinkles cinnamon on my coffee. But when I tasted their cinnamon roll one, it was, like I said, I was really floored just in the first sip. It's just so warm and comforting, and there's so many flavors in there. It's delicious. So I really liked it. And yeah, I think I'm definitely going to make these coffee overnight oats again. And I loved the other two recipes that you guys talked about. Like I am totally gonna make those as well.
That's great. Awesome.
And I am drinking out of their really cute cup. I love the handle. It's I don't know if others are, but it's just so nice.
Who's next?
I can go. Oh,
Go ahead,
Okay.
Jesse.
okay. I was like, I could wait. Yeah, so I did the cinnamon roll cold foam latte. So I tried some other recipes with it and I ended up going with just the drink because I don't know, this was my favorite way of having it. So I love like a cold foam latte, like where it's just like creamy and delicious and comforting. So to me, the cinnamon went really well with the cream and just kind of had this really sweet, but not overly sweet sugar kind of flavor, like a cinnamon roll. So yeah, I did the latte version. So it's really simple. It's basically just the brewed drink, and then you just mix milk and cream and cinnamon, and a little bit of maple, and like the flavors of the sweet cream with that bitter kind of dandelion flavor. I thought just were really nice together. It made just a really nice drink, honestly. So
It's
It
beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
looks
delicious. I
so,
love cold foam.
yes.
I know, it's so satisfying.
Mhm. It
So
just
definitely
adds
one of
that
my
like
favorite ways.
little bit of thickness. Like, oh, it's so good.
Yeah, I know. I like doing all different variations, but the cinnamon cold foam was delicious. Like I would put that on really anything.
So did you
So I have a
incorporate
question.
Go ahead.
There you go.
I was going to ask if you incorporated the sip herbals into the foam or as well or into the drink.
No, it's just in the drink. So it's just the drink. And then I did put a little bit of cinnamon, like ground cinnamon in with the, but I could try that next time. That's a good idea. I was trying to contrast some of the bitterness with some sweetness because, it is very bitter.
Wonder if you could make this like a nitro drink, like a nitro cold brew. I was starting
Probably.
like this one makes me think of it, right? Because it kind of
Hmm.
has like
Yeah.
frappuccino, like iced coffee sort of vibes. And it's like, like this could be like something that would be really fun to like make it.
Yeah.
You talk about like mouthfeel, like nitrogen based
Yeah.
cold.
Make it creamy.
Yeah, makes it creamy.
Hmm.
Be really
Yeah.
neat.
That would be neat. But yeah, it was fun to try. I liked both of them, but I think the cinnamon was my favorite.
Yeah.
I love dandelion, so I drink dandelion tea all the time, so it just kind of reminded me of that, kind of with some more flavor to it.
I have a question for you, Jesse, with your cold foam.
Yeah.
When you drink
Yes.
it, how do you get the cold foam through the straw with the coffee underneath? Are you like taking a sip of the coffee and then like pulling it up to get the cold foam? Or are you taking the straw out? I haven't figured this out yet.
Okay, so yeah, I don't normally use a straw initially until I've like drank some of it down, and then I use a straw like I basically like mix it in some as I drink it. So like I start off no straw and then I add a straw.
Okay, sounds good.
And then someone else was going to go at the same time. Who was that? Who was that?
I can go,
Alex,
Phil.
Yeah, I I don't know if it's my eyes, but I'm not seeing yours, Alex.
It's the
Is it?
cinnamon roll muffins. I don't know if it's on there.
I thought I had included them on here. If I didn't, I'm so sorry.
No, you're fine.
Doing the most.
There they are. Cool.
So I found sip like before this was the ingredient of the month and absolutely fell in love with the cinnamon roll latte tea. It was so good. And so as soon as it became the ingredient of the month, I just knew I had to make the cinnamon roll muffins. And truth be told, these muffins can totally be eaten without the cream cheese frosting, but the cream cheese frosting literally makes it taste like a cinnamon roll. And they have this like cinnamon sugar kind of crunch to them that I added a cinnamon swirl, and it was so stinking good. I made them twice in a row and we literally finished both batches in like a week. It was really, really good. And honestly, I can say that I seeped my tea with like 4 tablespoons, I think, which is typically pretty strong. But it was not bitter at all. It was just like the perfect balance. So definitely recommend.
Beautiful. Did you shoot
I
this with your
want to
phone?
sink my teeth into one of those muffins. They look so good.
Yes. Did I shoot this with my phone?
Hmm?
Yeah, I did.
It looks awesome.
Yeah, I was laughing because your wife was posting about a camera that she got on Black Friday, and I
Yeah.
got a year ago maybe. I think it's a Sony, maybe it's a Canon, and my mom got me like it's a vlogging camera, and I don't like it. I like my iPhone quality better, and I'm thinking of upgrading my iPhone now just because it's so much more convenient to film. But yeah,
Alex, we just got the 16 and the camera quality is unreal.
is it okay? Well, that's what I was hoping for, so I definitely want to upgrade.
And the macro camera is really cool too, which I hadn't had previously. So
Okay. Yeah, I have the 14 Pro, so I do have that. Paul has the 15, and I'm like, okay, my camera looks like crap compared to yours, so I know the 16 will be really good. But yeah,
it's so
I
good.
absolutely just loved these. If I wasn't making, I don't know if we're traveling this weekend, but if I'm not, they're gonna make my gingerbread cookies, which are in the ebook, or these, because they're just, yeah, and they're not hard to make at all. I felt they were very easy, especially for a beginner.
Yeah, they look delicious.
Thank you. And someone else mentioned it, like the cup or the handle on the cup they gave us is seriously one of my favorite coffee mugs now. I just like how thick the handle part is, so it's really nice too. And I wear the socks all the time too, so.
It was such a generous box that they sent all of us, like all the goodies in there. It was
Yeah.
like opening like an actual gift. It was so nice.
Yeah, the holiday box is definitely worth it, especially for gifting. I thought about gifting it to someone at my work.
Any
Yeah,
other?
Tasha, we got the 16 Pro as well, and I just like instantly I was like, this camera is completely different. Like it's just so crisp.
I mean, I'm not saying that I'm fantastic at filming stuff or taking photos that are really like just using my phone. It's just
Same.
Yeah,
easier.
that is a
Not
thing.
winning any awards, but
Yeah.
I feel that too. Yeah. It's just convenient. And the process of having to like export off of a camera and put it into my computer, like anytime I edit, I do like editing more on my computer versus my phone. But the phone is very convenient, like when I'm driving, or not when I'm driving, but when I'm passenger princessing, I can edit it. And it's nice too.
Any other ones we want to look at specifically before we take a general tour?
I'll do mine.
Oh, yeah.
They are chocolate crunch bar snowmen.
I feel like I saw those.
I definitely put yours on here.
They're on my like profile too.
Okay.
I'm 100% sure that I had selected that, so I don't know.
Doesn't matter. I can just talk about them. They're chocolate, like a Rice Krispie cereal, peppermint. Oh, they're on the right. And the peppermint Fojo, and I just kind of like mix it all together. I didn't actually make the Fojo. I just mixed the peppermint into it, and I also added like crushed candy canes, and it was really good. It was like a copycat crunch bar, which I've made before without peppermint, but I have so much peppermint. Those are the ones.
Oh,
And
yeah.
it's just like nice and simple and really good. The real crunch bars have, I think, malt flavoring or something from the actual like Rice Krispies. So I can't have malt with celiac. So recreating them is always fun. And I forgot I had these really cute snowman molds. Um, and yeah, I just plop them into there. You can make them as like thick or thin as you want to do it. I think I made them a little too thick, but they were still really delicious.
Did
They
you
look so good.
you didn't mention it, but did you temper the chocolate as part of this or
I just like melted it in the microwave to melt it down. I think I added a tablespoon of coconut oil. I usually do.
yeah.
But I use like refined coconut oil because I don't like the flavor of coconut oil. But if you use refined, it has no smell, no smell, no taste.
Yeah.
But it helps thin out the chocolate a little bit. Then just mix it with the Rice Krispies, the peppermint chunks, and the Fojo, and it had like a really nice, subtle peppermint flavor. And I love chocolate and peppermint together.
Super cute.
Thanks.
Did you share them with anyone or
I did. I shared them with Dave,
yeah.
and Zoe doesn't really eat chocolate, so I've been sharing them with myself a lot.
I think chocolate is at the base of the food pyramid for my two kids. It's like
Yeah,
every
it's
meal
good.
starts with chocolate and then maybe they'll eat something else. It's like, oh, great.
Yeah, I wish Zoe would like some chocolate. She doesn't like it in anything, so that's how I know like if I want something just for myself, just put some chocolate in it and call it a day.
That's hilarious.
I love how you said you were sharing it with yourself. That's what I did with the fudge. I just shared it with myself.
Yeah, I mean, it's the best way to do it.
Amazing. Anyone that we missed?
I don't think so, but I did want to give a quick little shout out to Holly from Holly's Best Life because she created 6 recipes using the Sip Herbals products, which is just like bananas bonkers to me that she was able to do that. So,
Yeah, let's take a look at her recipes. So she did these soft baked gingerbread cookies. Looks like Kat did a few as well.
mm-hmm. Yeah, these look delicious.
Mhm. Oh, these are cute. These little cheesecakes.
Yeah, those look great. I like the marbling on top too of the topping. The cheesecake part with the chocolate looks amazing.
Mhm.
What do you think a serving is of these, 3 or 4?
5 or 6.
5 or 6. I'm like, oh, cool. I could eat this entire plate.
Yeah.
Serves 12 or
Two or
2 hungry.
three, yeah.
2 hungry.
1.
Yeah, Tony, it says 12. Sure. It makes
Well,
12 pieces.
That's a
optimism.
suggestion.
Optimism. Pass it on.
12 for one. That's
Wait,
how I
like
read it.
a bag of chips is like
It's a
2
1.
or
suggestion.
1.25. This one's cute. I love seeing whipped cream like this on top of any hot cocoa.
Yeah, I almost did a hot cocoa. I'm glad someone did. That's perfect with the peppermint, I feel like.
Mhm.
Yeah, really.
She also did like a sweet potato casserole, which is just such a cool way to use the Sip Herbals blends. I just like am always so impressed by our creator community and how creative they are able to be with these ingredients. Like, you see these ingredients that are this coffee alternative, and you look at all these recipes and they're just so diverse. Like, it's just really incredible.
Yeah, when we first started this, I feel like we kind of called it our own version of Chopped, and I feel like that's truly what it's become. It's like just taking an ingredient and turning it into whatever you can make out of it. It's been fun to see.
Mm-hmm.
We do.
And seeing like how many people brew the beverage and like use it that way versus people who like use the actual tea as an ingredient, like the steeping versus the grinding.
Yeah. Oh, here's another one. Oh, this is Reed.
Reads.
Yeah.
It's stunning.
That little drip is just so artistic.
Yeah. The perfect imperfection. Oh, and an ice cream.
Oh, we should also, yeah, she did an ice, or no, that's not Holly, that is Susan.
That's
So
cool.
creative though. It looks really good.
Neat idea.
We need to visit Leah's recipe too because hers is incredible. She did a Fojo tiramisu.
Oh, look at that.
I was floored by hers. I was like, how did you do that? How did you think to do that?
Yeah, this is gorgeous. I find myself wanting more of like a layer shot. Leah, if you're listening to this after the fact. Um, so pretty though, and I love I've people who are always on these calls will hear me say this from time to time, but like I love the color theory of this, like the color story that's happening in this photo with like the packaging, the warm wood surface, like the red tie-in from the linen, the warm colors in the dish. I just feel like this all sort of works so well together. It creates like a unified look. Really, really pretty. Not that others haven't been, but just noticed it. I feel like we didn't see this one. Speaking of pretty, these photos are gorgeous.
Mm-hmm.
Did they include this strainer too? That's kind of cool.
Mm-hmm. They did,
Oh,
and
Yeah.
a teaspoon as well.
what a nice touch. We ended up with quite the collection here. These are all so pretty. Any others we want to check out?
I love the swirl on top of those.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know if I'd be able to resist not putting two cookies together and making like a palm-sized cinnamon roll Oreo out of these.
Oh, but see, the trouble with that is then when you're eating it, it feels like you're eating one cookie.
Yeah,
Or maybe the good thing, because then you can eat more of them.
depends. These are all really pretty. Well, looking ahead at our social calendar here this month, next week we have the actual veggies happy hour. Michelle, I can't see you on my
Yeah.
view, but are you still here? Do you want to talk about
Oh
that a
yeah,
little?
I am. Yeah, Cassie should have already sent out coupons for people to go grab. Um, it's a couple of their newer things. If you can't find them, she said just get any of our products because the coupons will work for any of their products. But she's going to be demoing one of the two new products. I can't remember. There's a mushroom burger and a chipotle. It was different for them because they are veggies and they added dairy. So it's an interesting mashup for them because they're not necessarily a vegan company, but they do a lot of plant stuff. So um, but for any that can try using one of their products, either the new one or whatever you can find ahead of the call, great. You can cook along with her on the call, totally up to you. She's going to demo one of them on the call and take questions around, the business. She's the founder's wife, but she's really excited to engage with the community and show us what they're about. They've grown a lot in this last year, if I remember right, Allie. Didn't she say that on our call that
Pretty sure.
they're in a lot of restaurants? It's just really taken off. And so congrats to them. So we're thrilled that they're on the platform. So it should be really fun. So
Is
those
it too late
coupons,
for creators to like fill out the form if they're interested?
yeah, she was afraid anything beyond like even yesterday that people wouldn't get them in time. But she said if they want to find one of those items in that form, she said she would happily Venmo someone to
Oh,
Oh, that's really nice.
if they wanted to get their, go get it with their own money. She said, we'll work it out. We will Venmo, we will whatever, uh, you know, whatever they're comfortable with. So anyways,
I'm gonna drop the form here just because it has the store locator on it.
okay, yeah,
So if there's anyone who hasn't signed up and is interested, you
yeah,
can also,
that's
like
great.
look here.
Yeah, because they're in my Sprouts, and I don't have a Whole Foods close to me, so that wouldn't work for me, but my Sprouts does. So anyways, yeah, check them out. They've got purple sweet potato fries too. So they have meatless burgers, but also French fries. It's really a lovely brand. The packaging's great, just really a fun brand. We connected with them in Denver at Newtopia in I want to say June, but it was not June. Was it August?
August, late August.
It feels like it was a year ago, but
It
yeah.
does. In a
Anyway,
good way.
yeah,
So I keep saying last year in
I
reference to
know.
this year.
I
Yeah,
know. The
yeah.
last 6 months has been a long year.
It has been
Seriously.
a long year of 6 months.
It is
So
good.
that
Yeah.
so that's
Anyways,
coming up next Friday, the 13th. Come dressed
yeah.
in black with your black cap,
Hey,
walk
that's a
under
great
ladders,
day.
and
Friday the 13th is,
open an umbrella inside, all
That's
those sorts of things.
that's two Fridays, the 13th, in a matter of months because we had one in September too.
they're
Yeah.
I was
great days.
born on Friday the 13th, Bill.
Me
Ooh,
too, Tasha.
Oh,
I was
Wouldn't
too.
have Michelle or I without Friday the 13th. I also
really?
got married on Friday the 13th and went on my
See,
honeymoon
it's a
on
great
Friday the 13th.
day.
I
It's a
graduated
great day.
college on Friday the 13th.
See,
Oh,
it gets a bad rap. It really does.
And
It's
our embryo transfer for IVF was on a Friday the 13th. So big fan of Friday the 13th.
it's a magical day. It's not a bad day. It's a magical day.
love it. Let's rebrand it.
Okay.
Not our transfer, sorry, our egg retrieval. There
Yeah.
hasn't been a transfer yet.
And then we've got the 20th, I believe, is the following Friday. That will be our holiday party happy hour where we're going to do our other November ingredient of the month, the Against the Grain recipes / holiday party. strongly encourage people to come with fun drinks. We can influence each other on those things, kind of hang out, and that'll be these are all very casual, but it'll be even more casual. We'll play music. Maybe we'll have a DJ or something. It'll be a lot of fun. And then
Dance and
that'll be our last happy hour of 2024.
oh my gosh.
We'll not be doing one after Christmas. If somebody wants a friend to talk to, you can always just huddle me on Slack, or I'll be around. But that's what's coming up. Anyone have any other bulletins they'd like to share? All right. Well, thank you, everybody. It was nice seeing all of your faces. Thanks for making time today, for taking time out of your work, distracting your children, telling your boss you'd be doing something else. It's nice seeing you all, and hope you all have a great
Happy birthday, Bria.
Happy birthday.
birthday. Yeah.
Have the
Thank
best rest of your
you.
day.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
See ya.